How's it going, everyone? So I'm borrowing my buddy's bike. I'm not exactly sure what year it is, but it is 1,350 pounds. So this thing is a beast. So I found the biggest bike I could possibly find. It's one of my buddies who's an instructor with me. And this is how to ride heavy motorcycles. So I want everybody to understand this and write this down. So go get a piece of paper and write this down. Speed equals stability. More speed, more stable. Less speed, less stable, generally, right? So therefore, when you take off and you start going, the bike's pretty stable. A heavy bike doesn't really matter. The weight kind of disappears when you're actually riding. The only time you're gonna feel like it's a big heavy bike and holy crap, this thing wants to fall, is when your speed drops and you don't have the right techniques or you don't know what you're doing, right? Does that make sense? So basics, when you're coming to a stop, just like any other stop, you're gonna roll off the throttle, you'll pull on the clutch, use both brakes, one brake, either brake, whatever you wanna do, slowly come to a stop. But because it's heavy, really heavy, you wanna absolutely 100% make sure the bike is always straight up and down and handlebars are straight. If I come to a stop, I'm looking over here, once it goes about this far, this thing gets heavy as crap and I ain't gonna be, I don't lift up, I don't work out that much, right? I can't, yeah. So if you come to the front, look how much, watch, I'm not gonna try to drop it, right? Right about here, that's about as all as it can hold. So if that thing tips more than that, it's gonna fall over. So you're coming to a stop, absolutely straight, handlebars straight, eyes straight. And once you come to a stop, get your feet planted, and then you can feel free to look around for traffic and everything else, but step one is just coming to a stop. So I was gonna make a quick U-turn, I'm gonna come directly at you, right dead straight, so you can see, handlebars straight, everything straight as you're coming to a stop. Check it out. Now I have videos about this already, but to build your confidence with this, especially with the heavy bike, come to a parking lot somewhere, just start and stop, start and stop. And one thing you could do to build your confidence, as you're coming to a stop, you're gonna roll off the throttle, you'll pull in the clutch, first gear, or second gear, whatever. But then you're gonna take your hand off and only use the rear brake and only your left foot comes down and you'll come to a stop like this. That will teach you this bike better be damn straight upright, otherwise it's gonna wanna tip over. So let me demonstrate that real quick. Handlebars straight, eyes straight, bike straight, bike straight, bike straight. You just practice, you get a feel for the bike. So that's just coming to a stop, right? So as you go to take off, just like you're taking off on any other bike, so this bike has a whole lot of power because the big old whatever it is, right? So probably with the clutch alone, I could probably just ease out the clutch slowly. Now this is where a lot of people drop their heavy bikes. When you start to go, once you begin to move, a lot of people just let go of the clutch and it stalls and the bike falls over. So the challenge is, once you start to move, you ease out the clutch a little bit until it starts to give power, then you hold it there. For how long? Until about 5 miles per hour. Let me show you what I'm talking about. First gear. I start to go, a lot of people do this. I started to move and I was like, oh, I'm good. But then I let go of the clutch, the bike freaks out, and now if I would have had the handlebars turned, it would have stalled. And it would have dropped over, and I ain't picking this thing back up. I have to go get it. But that's what you don't want to do, right? So let me try it again. So just clutch only. Once you start to go, you hold the clutch there until you go 5, 6, 7, 8 miles per hour. Get your momentum up, speed is stability. Go back and rewatch that last 10 seconds of that little U-turn. I'm doing the turn, but when I come to a stop, what am I doing? This bike is absolutely vertical, My head and eyes are looking straight ahead, not down at the ground, not there, not there. Absolutely straight ahead to the horizon. These handlebars are straight. Everything's straight. It's too heavy, right? That's how you ride heavy bikes. Like the video I just made, how to never fear dropping your motorcycle again, it's all in the clutch. Whenever you feel like the bike wants to fall over and it gets heavy, people have the clutch in, which takes away all power, and you're just using your physical strength. Whenever you feel like the bike wants to fall over, you ease out the clutch a little bit, gives it some power, brings it back up. You pull it back in, you ease it back out. It's never fully all the way in, never fully all the way out. The friction zone is just ½ inch. So knowing that, knowing how to stop with a heavy motorcycle, I'm just gonna do a couple little turns real quick, just to show you the bike doesn't matter. Even a 1,350, whatever, huge bike, it doesn't make a difference. The technique is the technique is the technique. And this is my first time I've ever rode the bike. And I didn't warm up. I just rode it from over there from my buddy who's teaching right now to right here. Doesn't make a difference. Once you got the technique, nah, who cares? No brakes yet. No brakes. Straight, eyes straight, right? 2 parking spaces, only 16 feet. I'm sitting there doing turns. Doesn't matter. So first, without the brakes, I'm limited by what I'm able to do with just clutch and throttle. I can lean the bike a lot, I can get it to scrape, whole lot of lean. But if I need to slow the bike down and do more stuff like full lock turns and kind of pausing, I need to use a little bit of rear brake. But that was just a demonstration to show you a heavy bike doesn't matter, even a big, big heavy bike. How do you never fear dropping your big heavy motorcycle? How to ride heavy motorcycles? What did you write down? Look at your notes. Speed equals stability. Get the bike going, it's going to be more stable, there's no problem. So the only way it becomes a problem, when you start going less than 10 miles per hour, taking off, stopping, taking off, doing a turn at a U-turn or something like that. And once you start, you pull up to the gas pump, it's broken, you have to make a U-turn to the other gas pump. You're going less than 10 miles per hour, big, huge, heavy bike, that could become an issue, 8-gallon gas tank, whatever else. That's where the clutch comes in, a little bit of rear brake. The bike feels like, oh, it's gonna fall over. Ease out the clutch a little bit, it'll stand right back up. I know what you wanna see. Let's see if I can do it. I call this pause riding. P-A-W-S, pause. I'm just kidding. P-A-U-S-E, is that how you spell pause? Look at the rear brake. Playing around with a big heavy bike. Woo! You go where you look if you're a beginner. Doesn't matter once you know where you look. There we are, everyone. That's how to ride a heavy motorcycle. Speed equals stability. More speed, more stable, no problem. Less speed, it could become less stable. Whenever it comes to a stop, handlebars straight, eyes straight, you'll have no problems. But all this stuff is going to be irrelevant unless you get your butt in that seat and go practice. Otherwise, all this stuff doesn't mean one bit of difference. Anyway, check out MotoJitsu.com. I got my app. I got a bunch of drills on my app, so you can go practice some stuff. And my merchandise, my books, everything else. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.